Have you ever considered that the routine act of bathing can have unexpected effects on your skin, overall health, and even longevity? Many women are confident in their body care routines, but after the age of 70, some common practices can do more harm than good. From accelerating skin aging to increasing the risk of infection, there are several common mistakes that many older women make without even realizing it. This article will explore 8 surprising facts about bathing after 70 that could drastically change your approach to self-care. If you're looking to maintain your health and energy in your later years, it's crucial to read this information so you don't miss any important details. Let's start with the fact that bathing too often can contribute to accelerated skin aging. How often do you shower or bathe? Is it a daily ritual, perhaps even twice a day, because you've always lived by the saying that cleanliness is next to godliness? Or are you more of a every other day person, balancing hygiene and convenience? Whatever your routine, here's a surprising reality you may not have considered. If you're over 70 and still bathing every day, you may be unintentionally accelerating the aging of your skin. Yes, that's right. What you've always considered a healthy habit could be working against you. Let's delve into the science behind this and explore why this happens. As we journey through life, our skin undergoes natural changes that aren't always pleasing to the eye. With age, the skin becomes thinner, losing its youthful firmness and elasticity. It also suffers from dehydration as the natural production of sebum, this natural moisturizer, significantly decreases. The skin becomes more fragile and vulnerable, requiring special care, like an antique relic. Sebum plays the role of a protective barrier, retaining moisture and maintaining the skin's softness and elasticity. However, after the age of 70, this barrier weakens, making the skin more susceptible to external factors. It should be noted that each shower or bath with soap and hot water removes the remnants of this protective layer, which negatively affects the skin's condition. To better understand the essence of the problem, you can draw an analogy with a rose. In youth, the skin is like a fresh, vibrant rose with firm, hydrated petals. Daily water procedures during this period can be pleasant and refreshing. However, with age, the skin becomes like thin tissue paper or fragile silk, a beautiful but easily damaged substance. No one would use a coarse brush to clean a silk scarf or expose it to boiling water. Nevertheless, many people continue to adhere to skincare habits formed in their 30s and 40s, which can harm aging skin. It may seem like you can't give up your daily bathing ritual because freshness and cleanliness are the key to personal hygiene. The question is quite legitimate. However, according to dermatologists who have dedicated themselves to studying skin health, most elderly women over the age of 70 only need a full bath or shower 2 to 3 times a week. Yes, that's right, not 7 times, but only 2 to 3. On other days, it is enough to pay attention only to the most important areas of the body: armpits, feet, and the intimate area. This approach allows you to maintain cleanliness without putting unnecessary stress on the skin. However, frequency is not the only factor determining skin health. The bathing process itself is just as important. Many of us prefer fragrant soaps with rich lather that leaves a lasting scent on the body. Or we like to soak in a hot shower, turning water procedures into a spa session. But, unfortunately, it is these habits that can cause irreparable harm to mature skin. Aggressive detergents, especially those containing chemicals and perfumes, accelerate the process of moisture loss, and hot water, like a sponge, draws natural oils from the skin. As a result, the skin becomes dry, flaky, and prematurely wrinkled. In the search for alternative skincare solutions, dermatologists strongly recommend paying attention to gentle, fragrance-free cleansers. In particular, creamy formulas, created for gentle cleansing of the skin without disturbing its natural balance, are becoming the preferred choice. The water temperature is also important. It is recommended to use moderately warm water, avoiding scalding. A short shower, no more than 5 to 10 minutes, should become the new goal, replacing long water procedures. If your skincare habits have remained unchanged since your youth, it's time for a review. Since skin is our faithful companion throughout life, it needs care and protection, especially considering age-related changes. If the ideas presented resonate and seem helpful, the author encourages you to share your opinion in the comments. Subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications will ensure you don't miss new videos. Audience support is an incentive to create quality content aimed at informing and inspiring the audience. Secondly, excessive hygiene can lead to an increased risk of infection. If the statement that frequent washing can accelerate skin aging seemed unexpected, the following fact can radically change the perception of hygiene procedures. It is about the fact that excessive enthusiasm for water procedures can increase the likelihood of diseases. At first glance, this seems paradoxical because since childhood, the idea has been instilled that washing gets rid of microbes. However, the truth is much deeper and more interesting. The skin is not just a shell, but a living, breathing barrier, the front line of the body's defense against a world full of bacteria, fungi, and other microscopic threats. The secret of this protection lies in two key elements: natural skin oils and the microbiome. The skin is covered with a thin film of oils that act as a sealant, repelling harmful pathogens and retaining moisture. But oils are only part of the story. The skin is home to a thriving ecosystem of trillions of microorganisms, including beneficial bacteria that form the microbiome. These microscopic allies act as a personal security team, displacing harmful bacteria and fungi, preventing them from taking root on the skin. Together, oils and the microbiome create a dynamic shield that is vital to human health. At this stage, the problem of excessive bathing comes to the fore. Each shower with soap, especially aggressive soap, or prolonged exposure to hot water, entails not only cleansing, but also the destruction of the skin's natural protective barrier. Valuable oils are removed, and beneficial bacteria are destroyed, which makes the skin vulnerable and defenseless. This is comparable to destroying fortress walls and disbanding the guard, after which it is not surprising that invaders enter unhindered. In women over 70 years of age, whose skin is already characterized by reduced oil production and slowed regeneration, this effect is especially pronounced. Excessive bathing does not just cause dry skin, it opens the way for various infections. What specific problems can arise? Let's look at a few examples. First of all, these are fungal infections. When the skin's protective barrier is compromised, fungi, such as Candida, which cause athlete's foot, yeast infections, or even chronic rashes, get the opportunity to take root and actively multiply in a warm and humid environment. Next, eczema and dermatitis should be mentioned. Intensive washing leads to the fact that the skin becomes irritated, cracked, and inflamed, turning minor irritations into painful, itchy areas that are difficult to heal. Do not forget about bacterial infections. In the absence of natural protection, the skin becomes an easy target for bacteria that can penetrate through microscopic cuts or cracks, causing ulcers, boils, or even phlegmon. A deep and potentially dangerous infection requiring qualified medical care. It is quite natural to assume that antibacterial soap will become a reliable shield against microbes. However, as practice shows, there is a catch here, because such products often act on the principle of a double-edged sword. Of course, they effectively eliminate some harmful bacteria, but at the same time, they destroy beneficial microorganisms, which leads to a disruption of the fragile balance of the skin's microflora, making it more susceptible to external threats. Moreover, scientific studies have revealed serious concerns regarding components such as triclosan, which is part of some antibacterial soaps. Over time, this substance can provoke resistance to antibiotics, and this is a problem that hardly anyone wants to attract into their life. Therefore, before giving in to the temptation to take a shower again, it is worth stopping and thinking. Perhaps the skin does not need another cleansing, but on the contrary, asks for a break. By reducing the frequency of water procedures and preserving natural oils and the microbiome, a person not only avoids dryness, but also provides their body with the opportunity to defend itself. In this case, the principle of less is more best reflects the essence of caring for health and safety. The third aspect that requires attention, taking a hot shower, can pose a threat to elderly people. The author recalls always having a penchant for long, steamy, hot showers that envelop the bathroom in a thick fog, turning the mirror into a pristine canvas and leaving one feeling as though they've just stepped out of a fancy spa. There's something undeniably soothing about this enveloping warmth, as if it dissolves all the day's tension. However, there's a sobering reality the author has learned. Upon reaching the age of 70, this beloved ritual can subtly transform from a means of relaxation into a hidden danger. And it's not just about changing personal preferences, but about safety concerns. It's necessary to explain why this happens and why it's so important. The problem lies in the effect of hot water on the human body. When a person is under a stream of scalding water, their blood vessels react by dilating, seeking to dissipate the excess heat. This is a natural mechanism of the body's thermoregulation. But here's the catch. When blood vessels dilate, blood pressure drops sharply. For young people, this may not be a major problem, as their bodies quickly adapt to changes, but with age, the resilience of physiological systems decreases. The drop in blood pressure can go beyond minor discomfort and trigger a range of risks, especially in the bathroom environment. What happens when blood pressure drops dangerously low? A person may experience a sudden bout of dizziness or a lightheaded sensation where the surrounding space loses stability. In the most severe cases, this can lead to fainting, complete loss of body control, and a fall. Imagine the situation, a person standing on a slippery, wet surface surrounded by hard tiles and sharp corners. Even a brief loss of balance can have serious consequences. Statistics show that more than 80% of falls among older adults occur in the bathroom. This is no coincidence. The combination of slippery floors, disorienting steam, and sudden dizziness creates a dangerous situation that, unfortunately, is all too common. It's worth considering the consequences of a fall. For people over 70, a fall is not just a bruise or a laughing matter. The risks increase significantly. A fall can lead to a hip fracture, an injury that often requires surgery, lengthy rehabilitation, and may forever alter the level of independence. Even more dangerous is a head injury. A blow to the edge of the sink or the floor can cause concussion, hemorrhage, and other serious injuries, especially considering that the skull and brain become more vulnerable with age. Even if the injuries do not seem serious at first glance, they can lead to chronic pain, reduced mobility, and the need to use walkers or wheelchairs. Just one wrong step in the shower can drastically change the rest of your life. For those who find pleasure in the sensation of hot water, as well as for caring relatives of older adults seeking to ensure the safety of water procedures, there are ways to maintain familiar comfort without unwanted risks. First of all, it is recommended to reduce the water temperature. The optimal choice would be warm water, caressing the skin rather than scalding, causing redness. If after a shower the skin resembles the color of boiled crayfish, this is a sure sign that the water temperature is excessively high and can harm the body. Next, it is necessary to turn the bathroom into an oasis of safety and stability. Installing handrails near the shower and along the walls will provide reliable support, allowing you to stay upright in case of loss of balance. A sensible solution would be to use a shower stool or chair. Taking water procedures in a sitting position turns the process from a potentially dangerous balancing act into a calm and safe activity. And finally, an important piece of advice. If you suddenly feel dizzy while showering, do not endure the discomfort. You should immediately drop to the floor or sit on a stool, take a few deep breaths, and if there is no rapid improvement in your condition, call for help. Safety comes first, and it should not be neglected. If viewers continue to watch this video and share the value of the ideas presented, the author encourages them to express their support in the comments so that he can be aware of his audience. Additionally, those who have not yet joined the ranks of subscribers are strongly encouraged to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications so as not to miss any new releases. The support of viewers plays a key role in the ability to continue creating quality content aimed at informing and inspiring. And now, moving on to the next point, it is worth paying attention to fact number 4. Feet require special and close attention. In most cases, women tend to dedicate significant time and effort to facial skin care, regularly applying moisturizers to maintain its softness, using special serums to prevent unwanted wrinkles, and perhaps even investing in expensive eye creams to get rid of dark circles. It's a ritual honed to perfection, a small act of self-love that is rarely skipped. However, the author wonders, when was the last time your feet received a similar level of care and attention? This isn't about a fleeting scrub in the shower or the occasional pedicure, but about daily and systematic care. As we age, these often ignored feet become a critical component of overall health, and neglecting them can lead to unexpected and unpleasant problems. With age, impaired circulation in the extremities, especially the legs, becomes a reality that cannot be ignored. Blood no longer circulates as efficiently as it used to, slowing down the healing process for even the most minor cuts, scratches, and irritations. It is this slowed regeneration process that makes the feet vulnerable to various problems, especially when hygiene is lacking. Bacteria and fungi, these invisible invaders, find an ideal breeding ground in the warm and humid corners between the toes. Neglecting foot hygiene isn't just a cause of unpleasant odor. It's an open invitation for infections that can have serious consequences. Among the most common culprits are fungal infections, such as athlete's foot, which thrives in a moist environment. If you don't dry your feet thoroughly after a shower or intense workout, the residual moisture becomes an ideal breeding ground for infection. This can result in itching, redness, and flaking skin, which is not only unpleasant, but also potentially dangerous if the infection progresses. Special care should be taken by the elderly, especially those who suffer from diabetes or have a weakened immune system. Moist feet can lead to ulcers, painful and slow-healing wounds that require medical attention. Don't forget about toenails. Improper nail trimming, such as cutting them too short or not straight across, can cause them to grow into the skin, creating another point of entry for bacteria. Thus, the feet, to which we often don't pay enough attention, can become a source of serious health problems. Regular and proper foot care is an investment in overall well-being that will help avoid many troubles in the future. Even with infrequent water procedures, daily foot care becomes a necessity. To maintain their health and good condition, you should adhere to a certain routine. Start with daily washing, even if a full shower isn't in the plans. You can use a basin or tub, mild soap, and warm water, thoroughly washing away dirt and sweat. Special attention should be paid to drying your feet. It's not enough to simply wipe them with a towel. It's necessary to thoroughly pat the skin dry, removing moisture between the toes, where favorable conditions for the development of bacteria are created. To prevent cracks and dry skin, it's recommended to moisturize the top and bottom of the feet. This is especially true for heels, which are prone to developing painful cracks and are susceptible to infection. However, you should avoid applying lotion between the toes to avoid creating excess moisture that promotes fungal growth. In addition, it's important to pay attention to any changes in the condition of the feet. If you experience pain, swelling, or tingling, don't attribute it to age-related changes. These symptoms may be signs of impaired circulation or nerve problems, which are common in the elderly. Timely consultation with a doctor will help identify the problem at an early stage. Regular and targeted foot care not only prevents infections, but also ensures their strength and comfort, allowing them to support an active lifestyle for many years to come. The fifth aspect that requires special attention: intimate areas need specialized care. Let's delve into the delicate but vital topic of intimate hygiene for women of advanced age. This isn't just a matter of personal hygiene, but a guarantee of comfort, health, and well-being during a period of age-related changes. Many avoid this topic due to embarrassment or awkwardness, but ignoring the problem can lead to unpleasant consequences. After the age of 70, the intimate areas undergo significant changes, and using the usual cleaning methods used in youth can disrupt the fragile balance of the body. Such a mistake is fraught with constant discomfort, recurring infections, and irritation, capable of overshadowing everyday life and making simple actions, such as walking or sitting, excruciating. Over time, noticeable changes occur in the intimate area of a woman's body. First and foremost, after menopause, usually between the ages of 40 and 50, the production of natural lubrication significantly decreases. Estrogen levels plummet and remain low. This hormonal shift causes vaginal tissues to become thinner, drier, and much more sensitive than in younger years. What might once have been only minor discomfort, such as using soap with abrasive particles, can now cause burning, redness, or even excruciating irritation that lasts for a long time. Secondly, the acid-base balance of the vaginal environment changes with age. During reproductive years, this area maintains a natural acidic pH level, usually between 3.8 and 4.5, which serves as a built-in defense system, repelling attacks from harmful bacteria and yeast. However, over time, this acidity gradually weakens, shifting towards a neutral pH, making it easier for infections such as bacterial vaginosis or candidal yeast infections to take root, especially if hygiene practices are not adapted to these new conditions. Ultimately, the transformation affects the skin of the intimate area as well. The tissues located there lose vital collagen and former elasticity, leading to thinning and increased vulnerability, making them resemble the thinnest tissue paper. Using aggressive detergents, harsh washcloths, or excessive scrubbing can cause microscopic cracks on this delicate skin, opening the way for itching, discomfort, and even the development of secondary infections. It is worth paying attention to common mistakes in care. If it has become a habit to use strong antibacterial soap, shower gel with an intense floral fragrance, or, even worse, douching, then it is not just cleansing, but a real fight against the body's natural defense mechanisms. Such products indiscriminately destroy beneficial bacteria, in particular lactobacilli, which exist in a healthy balance in the vaginal ecosystem, controlling the growth of harmful microorganisms. Their destruction creates favorable conditions for the reproduction of unwanted bacteria, which feel great in a disturbed environment. Douching, in particular, is a relic of outdated recommendations. This procedure not only destroys beneficial microflora, but can also promote the penetration of bacteria deep into the reproductive tract, thereby increasing the likelihood of developing infectious diseases. So, how should one properly care for this delicate area? The vagina is a self-cleaning mechanism where natural secretions perform the function of maintaining cleanliness, eliminating the need for intervention. As for the external area of the vulva, simplicity is a priority here. Often, warm water is enough to maintain cleanliness without disturbing the natural balance. If it is necessary to use a cleansing agent, it is recommended to choose mild, fragrance-free products developed specifically for sensitive skin. Preference should be given to hypoallergenic formulas with a minimum number of ingredients. You should avoid using washcloths, sponges, or rough fabrics, as hands are the most gentle tool for this purpose, reducing the risk of irritation or microtrauma. After water procedures, it is important to refrain from intensive towel drying. Friction can cause irritation. Instead, it is recommended to gently pat the area with a clean cloth, removing excess moisture without traumatizing the skin. It is interesting to note that too frequent or aggressive washing can lead to increased odor, not its elimination. Contrary to the common belief that intensive cleansing provides a feeling of freshness, the opposite is actually true. Excessive enthusiasm for hygiene procedures can disrupt the fragile balance of microflora, destroying beneficial bacteria that play a key role in containing the development of microorganisms that cause unpleasant odor. In a situation where harmful microbes take over, a vicious circle arises. A person begins to resort to water procedures more often, trying to solve a problem that, in fact, was provoked by excessive washing. If, after taking a shower, there is a feeling of insufficient freshness, or, even worse, itching or discomfort appears, this may serve as a signal to revise the approach to body care. In this case, the principle of less is more is the most advantageous. A gentle and moderate approach helps maintain the health, comfort, and natural balance of intimate areas, allowing the body to function according to its natural needs. It's also important to remember that hard water can have a hidden negative impact on the condition of skin and hair. Imagine a situation. A person has just finished their bathing routine, carefully applied moisturizing cream, but the skin still feels tight, itchy, and flaky, as if signaling for help. Or perhaps hair that once shone with brilliance and vitality now looks dull, brittle, and lifeless, despite using plenty of conditioner. Before despairingly abandoning familiar skincare and hair care products, it's worth paying attention to an often overlooked factor: the quality of the water coming from the tap. Hard water, characterized by a high content of minerals such as calcium, magnesium, and sometimes iron, can subtly undermine efforts to maintain healthy skin and hair. Many people don't think about the quality of the water they use for bathing, but for women over 70, whose skin and hair are already more vulnerable, hard water can be a negative factor that significantly affects their condition. Let's take a closer look at how hard water negatively affects a person. During a shower or bath, the minerals dissolved in the water don't just disappear. They leave a barely noticeable but persistent residue on the skin. This film prevents soap and cleansers from being completely rinsed off, resulting in soap scum, an unpleasant sticky layer that clogs pores, deprives the skin of moisture, and makes it rough, dry, and irritated. For people prone to conditions like eczema, dermatitis, or psoriasis, this can be a serious problem. The accumulation of minerals exacerbates inflammation and itching and triggers flare-ups that become more frequent, severe, and difficult to treat. Research shows that the negative effects of hard water only intensify over time, which is especially relevant for aging skin that already has difficulty retaining moisture and elasticity. However, the harmful effects are not limited to the skin. Hard water also negatively affects hair, depositing minerals on the scalp and hair shafts. This causes the hair to become heavier, lose volume and vitality, and be stripped of its natural oils that provide softness and shine. Over time, this can lead to hair breakage, worsen split ends, and even accelerate the thinning process, which is a major blow to the confidence of many older women already experiencing age-related hair loss. Fortunately, you don't have to resign yourself to the negative effects of hard water. There are effective ways to combat this problem. First, it's recommended to install a shower filter, an inexpensive device that easily attaches to the shower head and traps harmful minerals before they come into contact with your skin and hair. These filters, which can be purchased at most hardware stores or online, can transform the showering experience, resulting in softer skin, reduced irritation, and lighter, more manageable hair. Next, carefully examine the cleansing products you use. Ordinary bar soap reacts with the minerals in hard water, leading to the formation of even more unwanted scum and, consequently, exacerbating the problem. As an alternative, consider gentle, pH-balanced shower gels that are sulfate-free or moisturizing cleansers. These products are specifically designed to rinse off effectively, even in hard water conditions. The timing is also crucial. It's not recommended to wait for the skin to air dry after showering, as this promotes the settling of mineral residue. Instead, within 3 minutes of getting out of the shower, while the skin is still damp, apply a generous amount of moisturizing cream. This trick will help lock in moisture and create a protective barrier, shielding the skin from the drying effects of hard water. As an additional tip, if your hair is also suffering from the effects of hard water, consider using a clarifying shampoo once a week to remove mineral buildup, followed by a deep conditioner to restore softness and elasticity. While it's impossible to control the city's water supply system, making these changes to your self-care routine can help protect your skin and hair from the negative effects of hard water. The seventh interesting fact is that taking a warm bath before bed can significantly improve the quality of your sleep. If sleepless nights have become your constant companion and you're experiencing difficulty falling asleep, staying asleep, or waking up without feeling refreshed, there's a gentle and proven remedy that can transform your evenings: a warm bath taken right before bed. This ritual is not just a pleasant way to pamper yourself, although it certainly has that effect. It's a scientifically sound strategy that helps the body and mind relax and prepare for deeper, more restorative sleep. At this point, the reader may ask, haven't we been warned against hot water exposure before? And that's a fair point. Indeed, excessively hot showers or baths can pose certain dangers, especially for older adults, as they can increase heart rate or cause dizziness. However, a warm bath maintained at a comfortable, slightly warm temperature is quite different. It's a safe and soothing ritual that uses the natural rhythms of the human body to facilitate the process of falling asleep. The science behind this sleep-enhancing practice lies in the natural fluctuations in body temperature throughout the day, with a slight dip in the evening serving as a signal that sleep is approaching. When you take a warm bath with an optimal temperature of 97-99 degrees Fahrenheit, 36-37 degrees Celsius, slightly above body temperature, your internal body temperature rises. After exiting the bath and drying off, a rapid cooling occurs, mimicking and amplifying the natural evening temperature decrease. This rapid cooling process signals the brain, stimulating the production of melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep, leading to faster sleep onset and improved sleep quality. Beyond the temperature aspect, a warm bath has beneficial effects on a person's physical and mental state. It helps relax tense muscles, such as after a hard day's work in the garden or prolonged sitting, and eases stiff joints, which often prevent comfortable rest in bed. Furthermore, a warm bath reduces stress and anxiety, which often troubles older adults and negatively impacts sleep quality. Warm water activates the parasympathetic nervous system, reducing cortisol levels and inducing a sense of peace, promoting restful sleep throughout the night. Punctuality is essential for maximizing the effectiveness of the ritual. It is recommended to take a bath 1 to 2 hours before bedtime. If you take a bath right before bed, your body won't have enough time to cool down, which is necessary for sleep to occur. If you take a bath too early, the effect may diminish. To enhance the positive effects, you can add a few drops of lavender essential oil to the water. Lavender has been shown to slow heart rate, relax muscles, and calm the mind, thereby enhancing the relaxing effects of the bath. It's important to keep the water warm, not scalding. The bather should feel comfortable, not sweaty or flushed. Water that is too hot can cause a feeling of alertness instead of sleepiness, negating the desired result. Combined with a regular bedtime routine, dim lighting, and reading a good book, this ritual can be the key to a full night's rest. If insomnia has become a habit, this simple and accessible procedure may be the solution and provide the well-deserved rest you need. Bathing habits can impact heart health, especially after the age of 70. This fact may be surprising, as most people don't associate daily bathing with the condition of the cardiovascular system. However, for women suffering from conditions such as hypertension, heart disease, or circulatory disorders, bathing habits can have both positive and negative effects on the heart. As we age, the heart's resilience naturally decreases, and seemingly minor factors, such as water temperature or the length of time spent in the bath, can affect the cardiovascular system. Understanding this relationship can help avoid risks and make bathing a safe and enjoyable experience. The potential risks will be discussed in detail below. Sudden temperature fluctuations pose a serious problem for the body. Immersion in a bath with excessively hot water exceeding 104 degrees Fahrenheit, 40 degrees Celsius, causes rapid dilation of blood vessels in an attempt to cool the body. This process can lead to a sharp drop in blood pressure, resulting in dizziness, disorientation, and even loss of consciousness. A particularly dangerous scenario if someone is alone or has balance problems. Conversely, ending a bath with an icy rinse, which some people use for an energy boost, causes an equally rapid constriction of blood vessels. This leads to an increase in blood pressure and forces the heart to work harder. For a young and healthy heart, such changes may be insignificant, but for an aging body, they represent significant stress that can trigger chest pain, palpitations, and other more serious complications. It's also important to remember the dangers of prolonged exposure to hot water. Long baths lasting 20, 30, or even 40 minutes may seem like a luxurious pleasure, but they lead to even greater dilation of blood vessels, reducing blood flow efficiency and impairing oxygen delivery to the brain and heart. As a result, dizziness, shortness of breath, and a foggy feeling in the head may occur, signaling an overload of the body's systems. Taking care of your heart health while bathing doesn't mean giving up this pleasant ritual altogether, but rather requires a more sensible approach. It's recommended to keep the water temperature within the range of 97-99 degrees Fahrenheit, 36 to 37 degrees Celsius, avoiding extremely hot or icy water to maintain stable blood pressure. Bathing time should be limited to 10 to 15 minutes, enough time to relax, but not enough to overload the body. When getting out of the tub, don't jump up suddenly, as you might have in your youth. Rise slowly, leaning on a sturdy handrail or the edge of the tub to stabilize your balance while your circulation adjusts to the change in body position. If there's a shower in the bathroom, a special stool can be used to minimize the risk of falling. The most important thing is to listen to your body's signals. If you experience weakness, dizziness, an unusual sensation of heat, or shortness of breath while bathing, don't ignore these signs. You should immediately get out of the water, sit down, and rest. Your heart has faithfully served you for decades, and making a few conscious changes to your usual bathing routine will help ensure its continued stable function. Attention, ladies! 8 sensational facts about hygiene practices after 70 have just been revealed, capable of radically rethinking your usual daily routine. From realizing how excessive water treatments can accelerate skin aging, to the surprising risks lurking in hot showers, and even to discovering the beneficial effects of a warm bath before bed for improving the quality of nightly rest. There is certainly plenty of information to consider. The author hopes that the knowledge gained will provide a new perspective on self-care in maturity. We suggest pausing and reflecting. Which discoveries were the most significant? Perhaps it's the realization of the need to reduce the number of daily showers, pay more attention to foot care, or switch to gentler cleansers to protect delicate skin. The author encourages you to share your thoughts in the comments below, telling us about one specific discovery that makes you want to implement it immediately. It is emphasized that even minor changes can have a huge impact. Thank you for your attention, and we hope that the presented material was helpful. The author would appreciate any comments left, as this promotes dialogue and the exchange of experiences. You are also invited to mark the video with a like, share it with friends who may find these tips useful, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new episodes with valuable recommendations for improving your quality of life. In conclusion, the author thanks you for watching and hopes to see you soon in the following videos, urging you to take care of yourself as every woman deserves.